Today, I want to talk to you about something that can change your life forever. Self-discipline. We live in a world full of distractions, a world that makes it easy to scroll, quit, and delay. But success, real lasting success, doesn't come from comfort, it comes from commitment. And there's one man who proves this better than most, MrBeast. He didn't get lucky, he got disciplined. MrBeast spent years studying YouTube, watching thousands of videos, testing thumbnails, titles, and algorithms, not for fun, but with obsession. While others looked for quick fame, he looked for mastery. He worked every single day with no excuses. When he had 100 subscribers, he acted like he had 100 million. Self-discipline is doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. It's staying up late to learn, waking up early to build, and saying a no to what's easy so you can say yes to what's great. MrBeast didn't chase money. He reinvested everything into his craft. He chose purpose over pleasure, effort over ego. And now he's not just a creator, he's a movement. So let his story remind you, success is not about being the smartest. It's about being the most consistent. Discipline is the difference between a dream and a plan. If you can train yourself to do what others won't, you'll live a life others can't. Let's build our dreams brick by brick, with focus, with discipline. MrBeast's rise to global fame wasn't because of one viral video. It was because of relentless self-discipline over time. Every day, he made a conscious choice to focus on his goal of mastering YouTube. While most people would upload a video and move on, MrBeast would watch it repeatedly, analyze its performance, study what worked and what didn't, and then research how to improve. He once revealed that he and his small group of friends would spend hours every single day dissecting the platform's trends, titles, thumbnails, pacing, and viewer behavior. That level of obsession is not fueled by luck or even raw passion. It's the product of deliberate, focused discipline. Imagine doing the same thing every single day for years without major recognition, money or fame. Most people would quit. But MrBeast kept going. He didn't need motivation. He had built habits. Discipline allowed him to upload videos that didn't go viral and still come back stronger. He often says he failed upwards. Each video that didn't work taught him something. Instead of chasing trends, he chased improvement. That's the real secret. Self-discipline isn't glamorous. It's not what you see in the final product. It's the hours nobody sees, scripting, filming, reshooting, editing for days, and still throwing it all away because it wasn't good enough. It's not giving in to the urge to slack off even when the views are low or the rewards seem distant. Self-discipline gave him tunnel vision. He was so focused on building something great that distractions became irrelevant. He trained his mind to stay locked on the mission, even when there was no applause. And what's more powerful, he kept this discipline even after becoming successful. While many creators relax after hitting a milestone, MrBeast doubled down. He kept raising the bar, putting millions of dollars into his videos, pushing his creative limits, and taking bigger risks, not for fame, but because his standard had been set by years of disciplined effort. Self-discipline didn't just help him reach success, it helped him sustain and scale it. MrBeast's approach to success wasn't casual. It was obsessive in the most productive way possible. He didn't just want to make videos, he wanted to master every detail of the YouTube game. Most people watch content for entertainment. MrBeast watched to study. He would analyze hundreds of videos, frame by frame, to understand what captured attention, what made people click away, how long intros should be, how fast the edits should cut, and even how thumbnail colors affected viewership. That kind of deep, focused analysis wasn't a once-in-a-while effort. It was his daily routine. He has openly talked about the early days when he and a group of fellow creators would have 10-hour-long calls just to dissect content. They would pause every few seconds to discuss pacing, tone, titles, and retention graphs. That's not luck. That's strategic obsession. While other creators were casually uploading and hoping something stuck, MrBeast was building a system, learning from every upload, improving every frame. He knew that if he could understand the platform better than anyone else, he could control his destiny instead of waiting for an algorithm to bless him. Even now, with billions of views, that obsession hasn't faded. He still tweaks, tests, and studies. He still wants to know what makes a person watch for 10 seconds versus 10 minutes. He doesn't rest on his past wins because he understands that mastery is a moving target. It requires continuous learning, constant experimentation, and a relentless desire to grow. Obsession, not talent, is what made him stand out. Most people dabbled, he devoured, and in doing so, he separated himself from the crowd, not because he had more resources, but because he had more focus. The kind of focus that turns good into great and go legendary. One of the most overlooked truths about success is that it's not reserved for the most naturally talented or the most gifted. It's often achieved by those who simply refuse to give up. MrBeast's story proves that consistency beats talent every single time. When he first started uploading videos, there was nothing flashy about them. His editing skills weren't advanced, his camera setup was basic, and his audience was tiny. But what set him apart, what gave him the edge, was that he just kept going, day after day, week after week, year after year. He didn't disappear after a few failures or viral misses. He stayed in the game, and with each upload he improved. Consistency is the quiet force behind every major breakthrough. MrBeast wasn't born with a deep understanding of how to entertain millions. He earned it through repetition. Every video, even the ones that flopped, became a lesson. He saw each post not as an end result, but as a stepping stone to something better. That mindset, showing up regardless of the immediate payoff, is the ultimate form of discipline. While others would get discouraged and slow down, he used the low points as fuel. His early videos got only a few hundred views, but that didn't matter. What mattered was the process. He treated his 100 subscribers like 100,000. He acted like a professional before the world saw him as one. And that's the power of consistency. It builds momentum. Over time, those small repeated efforts compound. One video leads to another, one improvement stacks onto the next. Eventually, the quality catches up with the vision. MrBeast didn't wait for motivation to strike. He didn't rely on mood or inspiration. He built habits. He created a system where showing up was non-negotiable. That's what allowed him to keep creating, even when the results weren't glamorous. Consistency doesn't just help you improve, it builds trust with your audience, your team, and even yourself. It creates a rhythm where progress becomes natural. MrBeast's viewers grew to expect greatness not because of a single video, but because he delivered over and over again. Talent might open the door, but consistency is what keeps it open. He earned every milestone not by outsmarting everyone in one grand move, but by outlasting those who gave up too soon. In a world where most people are chasing quick wins, instant fame, or momentary pleasure, MrBeast chose a different route. He chose purpose over pleasure. This single decision defined the way he approached his career and his life. Early on, when many creators started making a bit of money and immediately began spending it on luxury items or showing off a lifestyle they couldn't sustain, MrBeast went the opposite direction. He reinvested nearly every dollar he earned back into his videos. Instead of rewarding himself with comfort, he pushed himself deeper into his mission, creating content that was bigger, better, and more impactful. This wasn't a one-time gesture. It became a core principle of how he operated. When he made $10,000 from a video, he used it to produce a $10,000 challenge video. When that earned $100,000, he poured it into an even bigger project. Over time, his videos grew in scale, not because he had to, but because he believed in creating something meaningful, something that could entertain, inspire, and uplift people around the world. He wasn't chasing dopamine hits. He was building something that aligned with his deeper purpose. Sacrificing short-term pleasure is not easy. It means saying no to things that seem fun or exciting now, because you're committed to something greater later. MrBeast could have taken breaks, traveled luxuriously, or bought into the influencer lifestyle. But he didn't. He stayed in his lane. He obsessed over quality. He held himself to a standard that few others were willing to match. That's why his content kept getting better. Not because of luck or a magic formula, but because he chose to live with discipline, not distraction. Choosing purpose over pleasure also means facing discomfort. It's not glamorous to stay up editing all night. It's not fun to reshoot a scene 20 times. It's not easy to hear criticism and still show up the next day. But when you're driven by purpose, those struggles become part of the path. MrBeast made it clear through his actions that comfort was not his goal, impact was. And because of that, he made sacrifices that most wouldn't even consider. That's the mindset difference. Average people ask, what can I get from this? While purpose-driven people ask, what can I give to this? MrBeast kept giving time, money, energy, because his mission demanded it. And in doing so, he turned his platform from a channel into a movement. It wasn't about chasing the next viral hit. It was about building something that lasted. And that only happens when you choose purpose over and over again, even when pleasure is just a click away. Discipline is not about feeling motivated all the time. In fact, it often kicks in when motivation disappears. MrBeast's journey is a perfect example of this reality. He didn't become the world's biggest YouTuber because he woke up every day excited, energized, and full of creative inspiration. There were countless days when he was tired, frustrated, or mentally drained. But what separates MrBeast from the majority of creators and dreamers is that he showed up anyway. That's what true self-discipline looks like. Doing the work not just when it's exciting, but especially when it's hard. Anyone can work hard for a day or two. Many people are good at starting. Few are good at continuing when things get uncomfortable. MrBeast has talked about editing videos for dozens of hours, reworking concepts that weren't good enough, and throwing away completed projects that didn't meet his standards. That's brutal. Imagine spending days on something only to delete it because it wasn't excellent. Most people can't handle that. They'll settle. But he didn't. He had the discipline to raise his own bar and then live up to it, even if it meant extra effort, delayed gratification, or long nights with no sleep. This level of discipline also showed in his routine. For years, YouTube wasn't just a passion. It was his full-time obsession. He wasn't making videos around his free time. He structured his life around making better content. And that didn't just require talent. It required the discipline to stick to the schedule, to study, to film, to revise, and to keep doing it without burnout. That type of grind, repeated daily, doesn't happen unless you've trained your mind to move forward regardless of how you feel in the moment. He knew that waiting for motivation would slow him down. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. One day you're excited, the next you're not. But discipline is a habit. It's mechanical. It doesn't rely on how sunny it is outside, or how you slept last night, or whether your last video went viral. Discipline is doing what's necessary even when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or unrecognized. MrBeast trained that discipline like a muscle. He created systems, surrounded himself with people who shared his standards, and removed excuses from his path. He didn't need inspiration. He had commitment. And that's what pushed him through the times when others gave up. When most creators took breaks, slowed down, or let fear paralyze them, he kept moving. Not because it was easy, but because he had wired himself to understand this core truth. You can't afford to stop just because you don't feel like continuing. In fact, some of his biggest breakthroughs came during the most difficult periods, when things weren't going well, when growth felt slow, or when his work wasn't getting the recognition it deserved. But because he stayed consistent during those low points, he was always ready when opportunity showed up. He didn't miss it because he was prepared. And that preparation only happens when you're disciplined enough to keep building, even in silence. Successfully, the kind that lasts is not something that happens all at once. It's not one giant leap, one viral video, or one moment genius. It's a slow, steady climb, and MrBeast is living proof of that. He built his empire not through sudden explosions of luck, but through patient, intentional effort, brick by brick, video by video, year after year. That's the part most people don't see or understand. They see the massive giveaways, the $1 million challenges, the elaborate sets. but they don't see the 1,000 tiny steps it took to get there. MrBeast started his YouTube journey as a teenager in his bedroom, making videos with minimal equipment and almost no budget. But even then, he acted with the mindset of a professional. He didn't treat his early videos like throwaway content. Every upload mattered. Every idea was part of something bigger. He understood that each small effort, each little improvement, each hard lesson learned was a building block in the foundation he was laying. That mindset of treating every step as a crucial part of the journey is what allowed him to grow into a powerhouse. Most people want fast success. They want their first or second attempt to blow up, and when it doesn't, they get discouraged or distracted. But building brick by brick means you commit to the process even when progress is slow. MrBeast uploaded hundreds of videos before any of them really took off. He didn't complain, cut corners, or chase trends just to get clicks. He kept refining. He kept experimenting. He didn't see failure as a stop sign. He saw it as feedback. That level of patience is rare, and it's why his success is so solid. It wasn't built on hype. It was built on deliberate, repeatable effort. Even now, with massive reach and limitless resources, MrBeast still approaches content creation like a craftsman. He still lays every brick with care. He doesn't coast on what he's already achieved. He works harder with more precision. That's why his content continues to evolve. He treats each video as an opportunity to get better, to stretch his creativity, to challenge his limits. Nothing is random. Every script, every camera angle, it's all chosen with intent. That kind of growth only happens when you respect the process and understand that lasting success is cumulative. It's not built in a flash. It's built through repetition, consistency, and care. MrBeast never tried to skip steps or shortcut the system. He accepted that big dreams require long roads. He trusted that the boring parts, the hard parts, the overlooked parts, all of it matters. So whether he was filming with a cheap webcam or building a full-scale Willy Wonka factory, the principle stayed the same. Put in the work today and trust that tomorrow's results will come. Each disciplined action, no matter how small, was another brick in the structure he was building. And over time, those bricks became walls, the walls became buildings, became a digital empire, one that still stands strong because it was built the right way. So what does this all mean for us? It means that greatness is not reserved for the lucky or the gifted. It's earned by those who show up, stay focused, and keep building even when no one is watching. MrBeast didn't start with millions of views or a massive team. He started with discipline, and discipline became his advantage. If you're willing to take small steps every day, to prioritize purpose over comfort, to be consistent when others quit, and to do the work especially when it's hard, then you too are building something powerful. Because in the end, success doesn't come all at once. It comes brick by brick with self-discipline as your foundation. Thank you.